with Samuel Beckett, who was kind of, I think in this life we have our fathers of chance and our fathers of choice, and he was very definitely my father of choice. And I met him when I was in Spoleto. A Swiss-French actress named Eleanor Hertz came up to me and said, "Would you like to meet Samuel Beckett? He would like to meet you." And when my heart started beating, again, I said yes, and I went to Paris and I met with him, and we were supposed to talk for 30 minutes. That was my limit, and he didn't have kids, and we stayed together talking for about 3 hours. I had hair down to here. At the end of it, 3 hours, I said to him, "Do you think we could be friends?" And he said, "Oh, I think we are friends." And so we had a very lovely friendship until his death and beyond. And in 1973, it appears, because I wrote it here, I was low on money. I was in Paris, and I did a poetry reading for $50. And I was embarrassed that I was doing that. I didn't tell him. I had a drink with him, and he said out of nowhere, he said, "You're doing a poetry reading tonight." And I said, "Well, how did you know that?" Of course, it was in the newspaper. And he said, "Many friends invited," and I realized that his feelings were hurt that he hadn't been invited. And of course, his reputation was he never went out. And so I said to him, "Well, please come to the reading." He said, No, I never go out." So he asked me if I would recite a poem for him. Some years later, when I went to London, I was waiting for Jill to finish work. I was running in Hyde Park, and he was, by some incredible coincidence, there, and he had me running in circles around him so he could analyze my gait. But this is the poem that I wrote, that I read. It has to do with I was a runner through most of my life, and I was running in Paris one day, and I ran smack into a very pretty young woman, and I went backwards onto the sidewalk, she went backwards onto the sidewalk, and we looked at each other and kind of smiled, and then she got up and went away, and I went away, and that was that relationship. And so I wrote this poem that I recited to Beckett, and the poem is, "How easily our only smile smiles. We will never speak, never agree, nor disagree. The pretty girl is perfected in her passing. Our love lives within the space of a quietly closing door." And I finished the poem, and Beckett said, "Oh, that's very nice." And I said, "Oh, shit." And he said, "What?" And I said, "I stole that from you." And he said, "No." And I said, "Yes, I did. You have a poem in your poem, Dieppe, ends with, we'll live our life or within the space of a door that opens and shuts." And he said, "Oh, yes." "Oh, shit." I said, "What?" He said, "I stole it from Dante," he said. So this is a birthday present that I wrote for him in 1982. It says here, so I believe it. And it's an acrostic, and those of you who know poetry from high school know what an acrostic is. It's a poem in which the first letters of each line spell out a word, and the last letters of each line spell out some secret message. And so in my poem, the first words spell out, the first letters of each word spell out Sam Beckett, and the last letters spell out "no word here." And they're all references to his writing, and I'll go through them quickly. It starts with "some buckets run overrun," and "some bucket" is Sam Beckett, and "run overrun," I guess, is the beginning of Finnegan's Wake. A junk diver was happy, the adjective was happy for happy days. So my days, Dieppe's down low. My days, happy days. Dieppe is his poem, down low. By my loin was Malloy, and Maloner was Malone. No, my earthy was Murphy. Murphy was my Arsene. Arsene is a character. Why for cum constantly that? Oh, my Aries contended. He was Cancer, I was Aries. Kick San Bosch between it bash, Sand between it, Sam Beckett again. Eat Nobel Prize pasties, nobody won the Nobel Prize. Oh my God, oh for Godot. Pig after, hay, aim love clay, pig Latin, ham and clove. Why for to my mad auntie is Dante, and all tickle's gone means he didn't write with articles. So here's the poem. I recited it to him. Some buckets run overrun. A drunk dive was happy. So my days dips down low by my loin, ain't Malone, no. Ain't my earthy when my ass seen what for. Come cancel me that, oh my Aries contended. Kick sand bash, between it bash. Eat Nobel Prize pasties. Oh my God, ode. Ta pig after, and hey Emil of clay. What for to my mad auntie, all tickle's gone.